Hey guys, Sando back with another Lost Ark video. Today we're gonna go over all the classes this amazing game has to offer. I will give a brief description of all the classes that will be available on release. It is not easy picking a class, they're all so great. But I do hope by the end of this video you will have a better understanding of the classes and will be able to make your choice. With that being said, let's begin. The first class we're going to go over is the warrior subclass Berserker. The Berserker is a damage dealer greatsword user. Berserker is an easy class to play but hard to master. Attacks can be quite slow at the beginning of the game and might even feel clunky at times. However, the main goal of a Berserker is increasing your Berserk gauge to activate Berserk mode. Activating your Berserk mode turns you into the ultimate beast, increasing your damage output overall by giving you move speed, attack speed, and crit chance. Berserk mode lasts quite a while, and not being in Berserk mode can feel a little underwhelming. Next, we have the Gunlancer. Do not be fooled thinking Gunlancer is a tank. His damage output is just as good as a damage dealer. The Gunlancer is a very safe class to pick up. It's the only class in the game that can pretty much fit all the roles. This guy does it all. Party shields, he's got it. Damage, he's got it. Face tank everything, he's got it. The only real downside being he does not have the best mobility, so PvP can be difficult against classes with lots of movement. The last option for the warriors is the Paladin. The Paladin is one of two supports available in the game. He's more on the offensive side of support. Although he does have a heal, it's not that strong. However, his damage buffs are consistent and will make your party dish out tons of damage. As a paladin, it might be hard trying to keep your team alive and healthy, but the party will definitely feel the damage. Just remember, paladin is a support and not a damage dealer. Next, we have the mages. The first subclass we'll go over is Bard. Bard is the other support available in the game. She's much more of a defensive support, providing insane shields and heals. She can also buff the party with damage and attack speed buffs. In the early game, it might be slow to level her solo, and her heal doesn't feel that strong until you acquire her class engraving. But in the end, she's the savior everybody looks for. And now the new confirmed class, not the summoner, but Sorceress. Sorceress is a mage with tons of casting spells. She puts out a lot of damage and does have the ability to blink multiple times. She can also choose to activate a buff that will increase her cast speed immensely. Squishy character, but does have a mana shield in her kit available if you get into trouble. Going over to the martial artist now. The Soulfist being first in line. The Soulfist is technically a close range mage. She uses a special resource called energy to cast the skills. This is not an easy class to play and will require proper positioning and skill usage to make her shine. Like the Berserker, she can empower herself, making her quite strong. But during this buff's downtime, she can feel a little bit weak. She's also equipped with the strongest skill in the game. However, this skill is hard to land as it does have an insanely long cast time. Next, we have the Wardancer. The Wardancer is built with lots of mobility. As a Wardancer, you're gonna look to save your strongest skills until you can buff yourself and then unleash everything within that small time window, dealing great numbers. You can also ignore using this buff and instead empower individual skills. However, the buff playstyle is more recommended in the later stages of the game. On to the Scrapper. The Scrapper focuses on alternating between skills in order to keep using them. Instead of using mana, she uses this system. Using a yellow skill will grant green resource, and using a green skill will grant yellow resource. Scrapper is a balanced class that can either go for a slow, hard-hitting build, or mobile, consistent damage. Last for the martial artists is the Striker. the male counterpart to Wardancer. The Striker is a fast-paced class that is deadly in the right hands. The Striker's playstyle will have you dashing all around. Striker has quite a few skills that are low cooldown and the ability to empower skills to unleash much stronger attacks. Playing as a Striker will have you focus on landing back attacks. Next in line is the Gunners. The first subclass we'll talk about is Deadeye. The Deadeye has 3 different set of weapons in his kit. Double pistols, shotguns, and a sniper, with shotguns being the main focus, meaning that he's more on the mid-range side. Deadeye is among one of the squishiest characters and is quite difficult to master due to the amount of skills to keep track of. There is a difference between a good Deadeye and a great Deadeye. On to the Artillerist. The Artillerist is a heavy weapons user that deals big numbers. It's all about planning and predicting your enemy's next move due to most skills having a delay. He's equipped with a shield and damage reduction engraving, so he can be quite tanky in the endgame. Some skills have you stand like a stationary turret, so it could get dangerous during boss, heavy attacks or mechanics. Plan accordingly. Next we have the Sharpshooter. The Sharpshooter is a mobile bow user. His strongest skills have a very long range and you can hit an enemy from the corner of your screen. He's also quite squishy, but does have the movement to reposition during combat. The Sharpshooter can summon a hawk to fight alongside him that you can also launch at enemies for extra damage. Last, we have the Gunslinger. Like the Deadeye, she has an arsenal of 3 weapons and is also squishy. However, she feels more adaptable than the Deadeye, having her main focus be the sniper rifle. She can dish out lots of damage from a safe distance, and it's also a hard class to master due to the amount of so many buttons to keep track of. Like the Deadeye, there is a difference between a good gunslinger and a great gunslinger. Last for classes available, we have the Assassin. Let's go over the Deathblade subclass first. The Deathblade is incredibly fast moving and has high attack speed. As a Deathblade, you can activate a buff stance that will give you the ability to use powerful skills. Be wary of positioning as the Deathblade is squishy and a few skills will have you move around. And the last class available for the NAEU release is the Shadowhunter. She can be built in 2 different ways. One where your main focus is the demon transformation, and the other completely neglecting the transformation. Both are great, with the transform build being the popular one. I do want to mention that the transform build is the cheapest build in the game, so saving money as a Shadowhunter is a big benefit. And that's gonna be it for all the classes available for release. Clearly, it is not easy picking a class in Lost Ark because they're all so great. Just remember that there is no bad choice. I'm hoping that I gave you a better understanding of all the classes, and I want you to let me know which class you're gonna be going for in the comments down below. If this video was any help to you, press that like button and don't forget to subscribe. See you guys on the next one.